I've messed up every important exam that I've had in the last 2 years. This includes my medical entrance tests. This includes our final year exams, which are known as A-levels in the UK. But you don't have to. And in this video, we're going to go through tips as to how you can avoid getting stressed out, overly stressed out, and messing up your exams. Further, I'm going to talk about my experiences as to how I messed up a lot of very important exams and how this almost led to my demise. And you will as well. My name's Ashmir, I run this channel, and this is...
Hello guys, I'm Neil. I'm a chemical engineering student, good friend of Ashmir's.
And he's at UCL.
I'm at UCL.
Yeah, we were like best mates
Yes,
in sixth form, and we've seen it all. We've been through a lot together.
Yes, and I've seen him get stressed a lot as well.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you've already done a test or an exam in the past, it doesn't matter where, at university, college, sixth form, or even at high school or whatever, if you've got a test coming up, potentially you might be a bit worried about it. But honestly, when you've done that test, a few days, weeks down the line, you're not going to care. You're not going to care about how you did. You're not going to care about the stress you felt before that exam, before that test, because realistically, it doesn't matter. There will always be another test. There will always be a test bigger than the one that you're currently doing. There's university, there's PhDs potentially. There's end of year exams.
We thought A-levels was like the end of the world.
Exactly. Forget A-levels. Let's take it a step down. During sixth form, we would have tests every few weeks. I used to take all of these very small tests, like 30 to 50 marks, very seriously. These tests counted to absolutely nothing except for our egos. And preparing really hard for these tests, preparing hard for tests in general is not a bad thing at all. It's important to prepare well, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. But for me, it became toxic because if I did not perform the best in my class, for example, in chemistry, I'd always try to be the best. Always. It was my favorite subject. I wanted to excel in chemistry.
Yeah, you were on it.
I was on it. I was so on it.
I think at a point you were like doing it quite a lot, that you were overthinking about it and stressing too much on the little
Exactly.
end of topic.
I was stressing so much over the end of topic. I was stressing. I was stressing so much over the end of topic tests that I actually messed up the big test that actually counted. And this isn't a good thing because it would hurt me when I do not the best in my class, and I'd feel guilt for not doing very well. And I felt a tremendous amount of stress for the majority of sixth form. This is because I had medical entrance exams, I had actual A-levels that I wanted to perform in, and this stress ultimately led to my demise a few times. In the UK, we have two medical entrance exams, the UCAT and the BMAT. The BMAT has been recently scrapped, but these two entrance exams, they are hard. You've given them yourself. How did you find them, like, on the whole?
I don't know. The UCAT I found very difficult.
Yeah, it's challenging.
I think the verbal reasoning part was probably the most.
Oh yeah, the UCAT is crazy.
You have to do it in like a few seconds.
It's so time constrained.
It is very time constraining.
As you said, that if you prepared your best, if you know everything you know, with regards to whatever test you're giving, with regards to whatever exam you're giving, you'll be fine. At the end of the day, you tried your best with whatever you had, and that's fine. But when we talk about the UCAT, my experience, I gave 800 hours for UCAT preparation. When I was doing UCAT mock exams, I was scoring top 1.5%, which were really, really high scores essentially. In the actual UCAT exam, the actual medical entrance test exam, I messed it up very badly. This is because I'd overthink a lot. I was overthinking the exam. I was getting very stressed before the exam. I was questioning my knowledge. I was questioning my ability to do well. I couldn't focus. I forgot everything I already knew. And I didn't perform very well. I performed decently. I got top 30% in the country. This wasn't amazing because both of the UCAT universities that I applied to, I ended up getting rejections from both of them. So that was a very low point for me during sixth form. I thought I wasn't going to get into medical school. You've seen me go through that. It was quite rough. And then came the BMAT. The BMAT was also very bad. I was very well prepared for the BMAT. I gave the BMAT 300 hours of preparation in total. And the same thing happened. I messed it up big time. For the sections I was best prepared for, I ended up doing the worst in because I got so stressed in the exam. I was overthinking so much. And this could have been avoided. I could have done very well in the BMAT. Fortunately, the University of Leeds accepted me. I'm in. I love it. It's great. I wouldn't have it any other way.
There was one thing that my teacher actually said one time, where she's like, if you ever do get stressed and overthink about the question on the paper or something, it's always good to just take a step out and drink some water, and then just have some time for yourself, and then get back into the paper. Sometimes it clears your mind, and yeah, it's very good.
I wish I did that because throughout my A-levels, throughout my BMAT and my UCAT, I was just sat there stressing, panicking. A few people next to me saw me hyperventilate. They told me after the exam, and I apologized because, well, frankly, a little bit distracting. We sat our A levels together in the same exam hall, and we made the same mistakes. I have to say, we were very well prepared. We knew every small part of the syllabus for all three of our subjects. We had the same subjects, biology, chemistry, and maths. We messed up a lot of our papers because we overthought, because we were stressed out during the actual test. For example, with me, during our first maths paper, I spent 20 minutes in a 2-hour exam on a 4-mark question because I was overthinking how I'd done it. It was a very simple, very basic integration question, and I was overthinking it so much to the point where I did it in my calculator as well to make sure it was right, which was completely unnecessary and very stupid. And I left out 20% of the exam, which was horrible. Similar thing happened with you.
Yeah, I was breezing through the paper. It was quite fine, and then the last question came. It was like a 7-mark question, and I spent like 30 minutes on it, and I nearly got to the end, nearly got to the answer, and I missed a question that I could have got easy marks on in the paper, but I was too fixed on trying to get this one question right, and I was overthinking, stressing about it, and the rest of the paper.
And this exact paper was really easy. A lot of people came out saying it was the best paper. Everyone was really happy. Everyone was just over the moon. I and Neil, we could have done really well in that paper. We could have got at least 90 out of 100. Unfortunately, we ended up getting 70s because we overthought too much. Similar thing happened in biology paper 1. In biology paper 1, that's when I genuinely thought I was not going to get into med school. That's because I missed out on 30% of the paper. Horrible thing. 30% of the paper. I came out, I told my mum, I got in the car, I'm like, this is bad, it's not going very well. The next paper, however, I got 71 out of 91 on, which I was very happy with. That was because I did not lose my mind during that exam. And this is important. I didn't lose my mind because I started doing this thing called guided meditation. Before every single test, after those 2 tests that I messed up, he knows about this because I took him with me as well. I would do 10 minutes of guided meditation right before the test. Magic, absolute magic. It calms me down. I'll link the video's description somewhere. It really helped. It puts you in a calm state, in a focused mindset, and it was magic. I really do award my 3 A's that we both got to the guided meditation.
So you might be thinking, how can we fix the stress and or how can we relieve the stress and overthinking? Well, there are different things. So one thing that I've started to do a little bit more is doing to-do lists, writing to-do lists so that I have everything that I need to get done onto a piece of paper, so that clears out any doubts or any thoughts in my head, and I've got it all onto the piece of paper. In that way, then I can start ticking it off once I do the tasks. And I realized if the more specific the to-do list is, and let's say if you had one to-do list which was to do my homework or something, if you have to do paper 1, then paper 2, then paper 3 or something, it's more specific. You break it down into little tasks and you tick them off. That's more manageable.
Before you enter the exam hall, it's important to tell yourself that you've already done the work. You already know everything you need to do well in this test or exam. So just walk in there with confidence and do that paper. Remind yourself that you know what the questions are asking you and what's expected of you, and you'll be fine. Remind yourself that you know everything. Walk in there with full confidence. Don't overthink anything, and if a question seems weird, just skip it and come back to it later. This is something I couldn't do in the exam because, well, as I said, I spent 20 minutes on a 4-marker, which was absolutely stupid.
Have you heard about the power pose?
What's that?
So basically, before the test, what I've heard from a teacher is that if you do this thing called a power pose, which is do this, or basically just pretend like you've won something, then you become more confident, and then in the actual exam you perform better. So that's one thing I've heard about. So if you want that confidence, do the power pose. I always think it's quite important also to have a good work-life balance as well. It's good that you should be studying and doing your work and stuff, but also you need some time to relax, some time to wind down, some time to just do something that you enjoy, whether that be dancing or I don't know, playing badminton or going to the gym or having a run or seeing your friend. something like that. It helps your mind be refreshed. You're not always constantly thinking about work. Sometimes when I was doing my A levels as well, is that I said no, I don't have enough time to do the gym, and I would just do like my A level revision. But then there would be some times in the day where I'm a bit tired, but I'd just go on my phone, and then that ended up being for like 1 or 2 hours, or for a little bit longer. But if I spent that time in the gym, I could refresh myself and then tackle the work straight after I go there. So I feel like we always do have time, but sometimes we don't. We say we don't have time, or if there's like a little bit, like 5-10 minutes, just do an exercise there to refresh your mind.
No, I agree completely. And with me, I was very hard on myself during A levels, especially during year 13. A lot of times I didn't go out with my friends if they'd asked me to. I think I was very hard on myself for no reason. I'd feel tremendous guilt if I went out one day, if I didn't study one day. I did have good work-life balance in the sense I would do a run every single day. To be honest, that's pretty much it. I would see people now and then. However, I just felt so much guilt for like going out and not studying. My mum would always encourage me to go out, have fun, refresh my mind. I wasn't like that, and well, as we talked about earlier, this did lead to my demise. It's important to de-stress. It's important to take care of yourself. Otherwise, what's the point of living, truly? You're going to spend a lot of time in education, university, potentially pursuing master's degrees, potentially being in more stressful work environments as well. There will always be deadlines. There will always be exams, always be tests.
Especially in uni, isn't it?
Especially in uni. This doesn't mean you throw your life and having fun aside. I've learned this at university. At university, I'm having so much fun right now. I wish I did the same at sixth form. It's good. It's important to de-stress. It's important to have fun. Otherwise, truly, what's the point of living?
Another thing is also to seek support as well. If you feel stressed, then it's always best to just tell someone, to vent it out to someone, to make sure that you're being heard. Let's say if you're at school, for example, it's always best to seek support, ask the teacher for help. They're more than happy to help. Well, let's say in general, it's always best to talk to your friend about any problems you're facing, any issues you have, just to de-stress from everything, from work, from social issues if there are any, and then you've got another thought as well, that you can another person as well where you can tackle the issue or problem together. I think it always helps when you're just not alone, when you're with someone else.
Your classmates, they are probably going through what you're going through as well. It's good to talk to them, ask them how they cope with stress, how they cope with de-stressing, how they manage de-stressing. Take support, ask people for help. There's no shame in doing that. It's very likely that your peers that are in school with you, they have the same issues as you do, because, well, everyone goes through stress to a certain extent. So it's good to ask, it's good to talk, it's good to ask around. Further, one final point about solutions. Avoid caffeine. This is something I talked about in the last video, which I'm going to link there, somewhere. It, to a certain extent, does not help you. We talked about that extensively in the last video. Yeah.
Enjoy life. Make sure you have a hobby, I'd say. It's probably one of the best things. I did dancing. I just picked that up in the uni. And rollerblading, and you've been doing
I've
YouTube
been doing
stuff.
so much. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot at uni.
Make sure you have a hobby. It's honestly, it gives you an identity to have, and it just it helps you de-stress from a lot of things. You can just do it in like 2 seconds, or just take 5 minutes of your time and do your hobby. I think that is honestly really, really important.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I completely agree. It's one thing to be a gunner. Gunner is a term, especially for medical students. Essentially, it's not great to be a gunner. Enjoy life, have fun, have a good time, do things you enjoy. Otherwise, as I said before, what's the point of living if you're just going to live in stress for the rest of your life? Chasing good grades for the rest of your life.
It's good to have good grades though.
Exactly.
But
sometimes you can't even... Exactly.
Yeah, have a hobby.
Sometimes you can't even get good grades because of stress. It's important to de-stress. It's important to have fun. And research actually does show that having fun, doing fun stuff essentially, it helps you unwind, it helps you de-stress, it helps you perform better in tests actually. Committing to exercise, committing to social interaction, that's good for your brain. It actually enhances the learning process and puts you in a better mood to study whenever you do actually. So that's about it. Have fun with studying, talk to people, take care of yourself, and well, that's about it from me.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you for
Thank you.
watching this
Thank
very
you for watching.
scuffed video. But no, thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.